Hello there everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a very glamorous red lip makeup tutorial for you. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieved this look, then please keep watching. Alright, so we're starting off with a bare, clean face, and I'm just clipping back my hair so that it is out of the way. And I'm going to start off by moisturizing my skin, and I'm using Clinique Dramatically Different Gel Moisturizer. And I'm going to do the eyes before the skin just to avoid any fallout from messing up our foundation. Today I'm using two palettes, but starting off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette on the eyes. I'm first taking the shade Unity all over my lid to act as a base for the rest of our shadows. And then I'm taking a nice mauve tone from the palette, which is the shade Lure, and I'm taking that on a Morphe blending brush into our crease to start creating some depth. And just going back and forth windshield wiper motions in the crease and making sure that we get the desired intensity from our transition shade. Then for our second palette, I'm taking the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette and a smaller Morphe blending brush. I'm taking the shade Tease from the palette and I'm applying that more deeply into the crease and outer corners of the eyes. And I do like to slowly build up this shade just so we can get our desired intensity and make sure that both eyes are matching each other. And I do kind of bring this in a little closer on the inner corner because, as you'll see later, it just kind of frames the eye very nicely, especially with the shimmer shade that we're going to apply. So I do bring that in kind of closely. Then I'm taking a concealer on a flat brush and I'm applying this to my mobile lid, and it's going to act as a sticky base for our shimmer shade. I like to blend it out with my finger to make sure there's no harsh edges with that concealer. And then with my finger as well, I'm going to take our shimmer shade from the palette, which is the shade Verve, and I'm applying that to the mobile lid where we applied our sticky base, which is the concealer. And the sticky concealer really just ensures that you get a lot of opacity from the eyeshadow, so it works really nicely. Then I'm just taking that same blending brush with barely any product on it, and I'm just running that on the outer edges of the eyeshadow to make sure everything blends nicely. Then I just do the same on the other eye. But it's really a good technique to blend in between your eyeshadow shades just to make sure you get everything looking seamless and blended. You know, we don't really like to see any harsh edges unless that's sort of a creative look that you're going for. But you know, it's nice to blend between shades. It will ensure that your eyeshadow looks really nice and blown out. Then I'm going to take a fluffy Real Techniques brush and I'm taking the shade Blackout from the palette, and I'm just going to use this very lightly, barely any product on there, but I'm going to use it on the outer corners of my eyes just to add a little bit of intensity there and a little bit of smokiness, and blend it out with the same blending brush after I've applied the color as well. This will just act sort of like a smoky shade to our eyeshadow to make it look a little bit more dramatic, smoky, and kind of blown out shade. Going back to the ABH palette, I'm taking a really small angled brush in the shade Obsidian, and I'm going to apply this as my eyeliner to our eyes. So just applying it really tightly to my lash line. I don't want to do my eyeliner too dramatic today because I kind of want the focus to be on the lips and the shimmer shade on the lid. So I just lightly lined my eyes and very thinly did so. And then I also wiped off any fallout with some micellar water before I did my foundation. After we've cleaned up any fallout, I'm going to go ahead and do my base. I'm taking the Rare Beauty Illuminating Facial Primer and applying that all over my skin. I really like this primer, you guys. It just adds a really nice glowiness to the skin. And I'm taking the Rare Beauty foundation as well on the IT Cosmetics buffing brush and applying a very nice light layer to the skin. As you guys can probably see, I really like these two products together. I feel like the primer adds a really nice glow to the skin and the foundation just looks very seamless. So I'm enjoying these two products a lot recently. Also, when applying your foundation, go ahead and blend that down your chin, jawline, and neck to ensure that your face doesn't look like you're wearing a mask, right? And then, as always, you guys know I love to follow up my foundation with a damp beauty blender to ensure that everything is seamless and there's no patches or any streaks from the brush. I'm gonna go ahead and conceal as well. I'm using the Rare Beauty concealer on my under eyes. I don't like to use a whole lot of concealer because I feel like if you use it too much on your under eyes, it can look very heavy, especially since the under eyes are a very delicate area. So just applying a layer wherever I have the most darkness under my eyes and blending that out with my damp beauty blender. And I'm going to lightly set where I applied my concealer with this more precision powder brush, and I'm using the RCMA No Color powder, mainly focusing that powder under my eyes lightly, and then I also follow up with a larger powder brush that barely has any product on it, but I do run that on the perimeters of my face as well to ensure that everything is nicely set. But again, these brushes barely have any product on it, and I like to disperse them really well. A light powdering can look really nice, especially if you're going for a more glowy look. Then I'm going to go ahead and bronze up the skin. I'm using a contour powder actually from Anastasia Beverly Hills, but these contour powders are a little bit too warm for my skin tone. This is Havana contour powder that came with the palette, and I'm just using that on a fluffier brush to bronze up my face here. And with a smaller angled brush, I'm taking a cool tone shade from the palette. I believe the shade is Fawn. And I'm going to go ahead and contour the face to start sculpting. I go ahead and apply this under my cheekbones. I like to also contour my temples and the sides of my forehead and the top of my forehead. Since my forehead is a little larger on the top, I like to make sure that that looks a little bit more sculpted. And then for blush, I'm taking a MAC blush. I don't know the name of the shade here because I've had it for a while and the sticker on the bottom has rubbed off, but it looks like that. It's a really nice cool toned pink shade. So I really liked how it looked with this eyeshadow because everything is going to look a little bit more cool toned here. For my highlight, I'm taking the Balm Mary Luminizer highlight and I'm applying that to the tops of my cheekbones. A quick tip when you apply your highlight, you want to look at your face and see where it is that the sun or the light naturally hits. So for me, that would be the tops of my cheekbones and on my brow bone, and I like to add some on my nose as well. But mainly just look at where the sun hits your face and then you'll know where to highlight. I'm also taking Mary Luminizer on a pencil brush and applying that on the inner corners of my eyes. and I like to precisely highlight the tip of my nose and a little bit on the bridge of my nose as well as my cupid's bow, because I really like how that looks when the makeup is all put together. Then I'm going to go ahead and take a smudger brush with the brown shade from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, which is, this is the shade Parallel. And I'm applying that very smudged under my lash line to create, you know, some depth there as well. Then with a clean blending brush that barely has any product on it, I'm going to go ahead and just blend out that under eye shade like you see me do here. And this will just help marry the bottom lash line with the top and with the top eyeshadow, making sure that everything looks really blown out and seamless at the edges. Then I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. I'm, as always, using the same products. I'm using Smashbox Matte Brow Tech Brow Pencil and following that up with the Makeup Forever brow gel as well. And since I no longer have eyelash extensions, I'm going to go ahead and load up my lashes with some mascara. This is Clinique High Impact Waterproof Mascara. And I like to load it up. I did 2 layers here on both my top and bottom lashes just because since I don't have eyelash extensions anymore, I feel like my lashes look pathetic, but we're gonna roll with it anyways. Not everyone has eyelash extensions out there, and if you are not fortunate enough and to have, you know, super long lashes, like I definitely do not, definitely just load up a few coats of mascara with a lengthening mascara like this one. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do some lip liner before we apply the red lip. This is actually a Victoria's Secret lip liner that was gifted to me by a friend. And it's a really nice lip liner. It's called the Velvet line and it's a dark red shade. It came with the lipstick, but I'm not going to use the lipstick today. I think that it's a really good idea to line your lips before you put on your red lipstick, because red lipstick can be very tricky and it can be a little bit runny. So this will just ensure that you have a really nice crisp line for your red lipstick, which looks beautiful. For the red lips today, I'm using Rare Beauty Inspire Velvet Lip Souffle, and I'm just applying this very lightly all over my lips. I really love this shade. It is so pretty. But since the lip liner is slightly darker than the lip color, I'm just using the tip, as you can see, to blend out the lip liner in with the lip shade. But after you've done that, we are all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you check out the description box for any other details. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.